Were you ever watching your favorite TV show and there's just that one character who ruins everything whenever they have screen time? Do you have full-length conversations with your friends about your hatred for said character? Yeah, me too. This is Chief Rosa, and today I present to you Top 10 Television Characters We Love to Hate. Number 10. Theodore Bagwell, better known as T-Bag, Prison Break.
We got you a little get-well gift.
Prison Break Season 5 started back in April, and fans were excited to see T-Bag returning to the cast.
Give it to me straight. How you really feel about me?
Theodore Bagwell is initially introduced to us as Michael's nemesis in Season 1 of Prison Break.
I'll catch up with you later.
Throughout the series, we see a complex character with a disturbing childhood that ultimately made him the man he had become. While exploring his backstory, the viewer is temporarily compelled to feel sorry for T-Bag. That is, until we realize all the evil he has given doesn't make up for a brief moment of pity. Although Theodore occasionally makes us laugh and becomes one of Prison Break's only sources of comic relief, he continues the wrongdoings that make us dislike him from the beginning. Number 9. Laurel Lance, Arrow.
After I hit him with the evidence that the Arrow gathered.
Good work.
You catch him, I cook him.
The word counterproductive comes to mind when thinking of Arrow's Laurel Lance. The CW show's main characters all have one thing in common: a purpose. Laurel Lance gives us little more than another annoying love interest for Oliver Queen.
Oliver, she just lost her mother. Losing you would destroy her.
She'll be alive.
I don't know anything about hoods and masks or human weapons or any of this.
Throughout the series, she goes from annoying love interest to annoying alcoholic. Even with Laurel's transformation to Black Canary in later seasons, the character never feels much more than a plot filler and stepping stone to Arrow's own character development.
From me, I want you to tell him I'm a man of my word.
Number 8. Dr. Romano, ER.
On itself. The very process we need to grow in the womb to regenerate ourselves, systematically eating us alive.
With a lovable cast, helmed by a young George Clooney, ER just had to give us a character to loathe.
His wife's probably down in the coffee shop, waiting for him to wake.
Enter Dr. Robert Romano, the pompous and narcissistic surgeon we love to hate.
Amputee surgeon has to pay for his own arm to work in the hospital where he lost it?
This is not the place or the time.
You know, you're right. I've got a lot of patients to see in the ER. And you know, that's where using this hook really gets kind of...
Even after a freak helicopter accident that caused the arrogant doctor to lose his arm, he continues to be downright unlikable. At certain points, we are introduced to slivers of love within Dr. Romano. For instance, his communication via sign language with Reese, and his breakdown after losing Lucy. But unfortunately, those were rare occasions, and through to his death, we never really find a reason to not hate the late Dr. Romano. Number 7. Dawn Summers, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That's why I'm a cat. Quiet. See, cat's in the cupboard, but they find you there anyway, and it hurts.
With the suddenly abrupt appearance of Dawn as Buffy's mystical sister, it was a tasteless way to start the show's 5th season and give us a bad first impression.
So, we were just dancing.
Right. You think I'm stupid? You're gonna back off now.
You know what's sad? A girl who can't move on when she's been dumped.
He didn't dump me!
Many television characters have been introduced in a similar fashion, but typically have a chance to redeem themselves with either personality or plot importance. Dawn Summers brought nothing to the table, and was a novelty that quickly overstayed its welcome.
Where's Mom?
Mom had an accident. Or, something went wrong from the tumor.
Is she okay? Is she... But she's okay. But it's serious.
Number 6. Ramsay Bolton, Game of Thrones.
I am torturing you, and I win the game if you beg me to cut off your finger.
Ramsay Bolton almost instantly becomes one of the most evil and despicable television characters of all time.
Oh, sweet, don't cry. It will be over soon.
She thinks she's pretty. Let me put one through her face.
We have to reward the hounds now. They did all the hard work.
Why?
From murdering his father, stepmother, and newborn brother all in the same episode, to the traumatic scene he gives us to experience alongside Sansa Stark. You may be wondering if that is the extent of his wrongdoings, and fans of the show will tell you no. No, it is not.
Reek?
A character with literally no redeeming qualities, Ramsay Bolton is just a jealous and bitter boy with too much power. Fortunately, the viewers were gifted with a Season 6 finale that resulted in a most brutal death for the Bastard of Dreadfort. Number 5. Ben Linus, Lost.
You end up dead. That's the spirit.
Ben Linus, a character gifted with his own developmental arc, is introduced as an antagonist and leader of the Others in Season 2 of Lost.
What are you waiting for?
I want to explain.
Don't let his look fool you. Ben is a master manipulator and calculated murderer. At times we feel for him, and then those feelings are quickly washed away.
I have information that you need. I have answers.
Michael Emerson was able to give us an Emmy-winning performance in Ben Linus, and a character with extreme emotional highs and lows. Just as we begin to like him and he becomes an unlikely ally to the heroes of Lost, the audience soon realizes that Ben is not the controller, but the controlled.
This gentleman and I are taking a boat. Does anyone else have a problem with...
Number 4. Gemma Teller, Sons of Anarchy. Until Gemma Teller meets her untimely demise at the hands of her son Jax, we see many sides to the complex and emotional character she becomes.
I love you, Jackson.
Gemma is the reason and cause of most of the club's issues throughout the series. This stems from her upbringing and her family over everything attitude. At times, her intentions are true, but her actions bring more pain, problems, and death to those around her. In the 7th and final season of Sons of Anarchy, the show closes with the suicide of Jax Teller. When analyzing events leading up to the scene, you quickly realize that Gemma's actions were a cause and effect scenario, giving her a playing hand in her son's death. Number 3. Pete Campbell, Mad Men.
On a plane. I hate my mother. What do you think of that?
Lying, cheating, and pure sleazy ambition are the qualities needed to be one of Sterling Cooper's top advertising agents. Coming off more as a door-to-door salesman than an account executive, Pete Campbell did everything in his power to work towards a promotion.
I like having one in the office. Makes us look more easygoing, friendly, to clients. Maybe I'll bring one in too.
What breed do you have?
Oh, I don't have one.
We felt ourselves cringe at least a little bit every time Pete spoke, especially when he tried being funny.
That, Emil, is what I do every day.
To add to his unsavory personality, Pete Campbell always had something to whine about and usually sounded like a pouting child. And don't even get me started about his relationship with Trudy.
But what are you doing here?
Well, I was worried about you.
Oh, that's right.
Number 2, Skyler White, Breaking Bad.
I say, this is your fault. This is what comes of your disrespect.
Earning the number 2 spot on our list is no easy feat to accomplish, and putting Skyler White there should be no surprise to fans of Breaking Bad.
Magic, Walt. I don't know what to do. I'm a coward.
Most of us don't actually hate Skyler because she feared Walt and disapproved of his new lifestyle. And she most certainly wasn't an antagonist.
Why don't you go back in the office and wait for me to die?
So why did we actually hate Skyler White? You may be asking yourself, and I'd like to point that the answer is very obvious. Aside from her cheating on Walter and flip-flopping between a co-conspirator and not, she was just always in the way of the plot.
You stupid bitch.
Following Walter White's transformation to Heisenberg, we were never again given a truly level-headed Skyler. Anybody remember the pool scene?
Pool party.
What are you doing, Skyler?
And that pretty much sums up every appearance in every scene she took part in. If she wasn't whining, crying, or screaming, she was attempting to somehow act against our favorite TV character, Walter White. And nobody fucks with Heisenberg.
How much is this?
I have no earthly idea.
Number 1, Joffrey Baratheon, Game of Thrones.
Only a butcher's boy.
Ugh. How could any character possibly be as loathsome as our second Game of Thrones entry, Joffrey Baratheon, played by Jack Gleeson? We love to hate the young king of Westeros in every form of the word. To claim the number 1 spot on our list, you have to be a pretty awful person. If we think back to when Joffrey promised mercy if Ned Stark confessed his crimes, then beheaded the Lord of Winterfell for doing exactly that, I'd say it explains a lot. But we can't stop there. The beheading of Eddard was only the tip of the iceberg, and for season after season, we had to experience the atrocities of King Joffrey Baratheon. Or should I say Lannister?
We'll never sing it again. I swear.
Tell me, which do you favor? Your fingers or your tongue?
The young king was not only violent, but he was an annoying and whiny, much like Pete Campbell, mama's boy who came into power over the 7 kingdoms at much too young an age. There are plenty of characters we love to hate, but unfortunately we could only pick 10. Let me know your picks down in the comments, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at ChiefRosa300.